The 2024 F1 season is almost upon us, and I figured I might make some predictions along the way. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Now let's get into it. Kicking things off at the bottom of the grid, we have Kevin Magnussen. K-Mag had a pretty lackluster season in 2023, and I think he's probably going to be in the same boat for this year. Knowing Haas's reliability issues, I predict Magnussen's probably going to have to retire his car once more than he did last year, with a total of 6 retirements in 2024. Nico Hülkenberg managed to work his way into Q3 8 times last year out of the 22 races on the calendar, but I think his luck's probably going to run out this year. If I had to guess, he'll probably only make 3 Q3 appearances, and I won't be surprised if Haas just continues to be a backmarker at best. Moving on to the new Kick Sauber team formerly known as Alfa Romeo. Unfortunately for Zhou, my prediction's not a positive one. I can say that with 100% confidence the broadcast team is just going to continue to do him dirty, and Zhou's total time on camera won't even be close to the amount of time that we hear the Dutch national anthem. Sorry, Zhou. I honestly think Valtteri Bottas is just going to have another quiet season. He only finished in the points 4 times last year, and I think we're probably going to see more of the same as long as his tenure with the team continues. However, I am prepared in the event that we do get another Bottas calendar dropping this year. That might be one of the greatest all-time moves in his career. Moving on to the other new name, and that is RB, formerly known as AlphaTauri. I think this is probably going to be a make or break year for Yuki. If he continues to struggle with Ricciardo as his teammate, things are going to look pretty bleak. Do I think he's going to improve this year? Not at all. Probably not a bold prediction, to be honest. Let me know if you agree. Conversely to Yuki, I expect Daniel Ricciardo to have a pretty exceptional season for the RB team and probably win the head-to-head against Yuki. He might even finish near the top 10. Let's call it like 12th overall at season's end. Albon and Williams have had a pretty great relationship over the last few seasons, but I think this is probably going to be the final year in which we see Albon and Williams colors. As far as I'm aware, his contract is set to expire at the end of the season, and I think he'll probably be keen to get behind the wheel for a team that has a higher probability for contention. After 7 retirements in his rookie season, I believe Logan's going to finish 85% of his races this year, meaning he'll finish 20 races out of 24, give or take. Save the team a little bit of money on repairs and try to make America proud, even just a little bit. I'm going to combine these two because I'm predicting a sharp decline in the relationship between Ocon and Gasly. Things kind of got a little bit heated between these two during the 2023 season, and as far as I'm aware, their contracts are both set to expire at the end of this term. I wouldn't be surprised if Alpine were to just retain the better driver and let the other one go off into free agency, so I'm expecting the clause to come out. Moving on to Aston Martin, this might be my boldest prediction yet, but I think that Lance will somehow manage to pick up his first podium since 2020. I personally cannot stand Lance, but I have some sneaking suspicion that Aston Martin's going to have another hot start to their season, and he might just luck himself into hearing Carmen play from somewhere other than the locker room. Fernando's going to do whatever Fernando wants to do at this point in his career, so to make things interesting, I think we're going to get another quality meme out of Fernando. I thought last year's radio at Miami about watching Stroll on the Jumbotron mid-race was a gem, so I'm calling another one of those for this year. Lando Norris has done some really great driving for McLaren, but has yet to bring home his maiden win. This year, I'm predicting that Lando will get his first win, just not in the main race. I could probably see him picking up a win during one of the sprint races allotted for the calendar this year, and it will bring him joy, but only for a moment. I think Oscar Piastri had a pretty phenomenal rookie season, and there's nothing to suggest that that's going to change this season. I think it's pretty safe to say that Piastri's probably going to pick up a couple top 5 finishes and maybe even a podium or 2. I'd say Piastri's probably going to end up one better than he did last year and finish 8th overall in points. As much as it pains me to say this as a Ferrari fan, I do not expect Charles Leclerc to get any wins this year, especially if he's starting from pole position. However, I do think he will get at least 4 podiums before mid-season break. With Lewis Hamilton coming in to take Sainz's seat for the 2025 season, as much as I love Carlos, I think this is probably just going to be a last hurrah behind the wheel of a Scarlet Ferrari, and he's probably going to finish near the bottom of the top 10. I never know what to expect with George Russell from season to season, so this year, I'm predicting that he'll finally learn the difference between sweat on his visor and rain, so hopefully he can stop annoying his engineer about the weather report every race. With 2024 being the final season between Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes, I would not be surprised at all if he came home with one more victory to share with Toto and the boys behind the pit wall. It would be a storybook ending to a dominant relationship. Let's just hope he can carry that momentum over for the Tifosi. Even though we all know Red Bull's going to be dominant again this year, I kind of expect Checo to continue to struggle during the qualifying format. He failed to reach Q3 several times during the 2023 season, and I think the same situation is going to befall him this year. If he can convert his starting position into podiums, he might get to stick around. But if not, we might see a new number 2 driver for Red Bull. And finally, we have the reigning world champion Max Verstappen. It's tough to make a bold prediction for Max because he's consistent at every level. However, I don't think that Max is going to have a perfect season like he did last year. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm expecting Max will have at least one DNF this season. More specifically, I think he's going to have a collision with another driver and he's going to have to retire. Verstappen brought the car home in one piece every race last year, but I think this year there's going to be an incident. And with all the drivers out of the way, I'll make one more prediction, and that's going to be who will be the world champion. To nobody's surprise, I think it's going to be Max Verstappen. I think they're just too dominant during this era, and until we get to the new regulations, I think it's going to be Red Bull all the way. And there you have it. Those are my predictions for the 2024 F1 season. Let me know down in the comments if you agree with any of these or you think I'm kind of stupid. That's going to do it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. And hey, while you're at it, why not consider subscribing? There's going to be a link down in the description where you can join my Discord. And until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.